Sean Diddy Combs is facing trial in Manhattan, as by now you've all heard. And some of the charges include conspiracy, racketeering, carrying of prostitutes, so basically transportation of prostitutes, and sexual trafficking, and so many other ones. And they're all very serious federal charges, which could lead to life imprisonment. These charges are mind-blowing, because if you know the details of what he allegedly did, oh my gosh, guys, it's crazy. And I have been following it all, and I'm here to talk about it with you guys, so let's do that.
Cassie Ventura, who was his longtime girlfriend, is one of the two people who the feds have brought this case with. She says that Combs would bash on my head, knock me over, drag me, kick me. Asked how often, she replied, too frequently. She says she didn't want to participate in the freak-offs, as he called them, but she did so because she loved him very much and wanted to make him happy. She told the jury she was scared of what he would do if she said no. Physical violence from Combs, she said, was always on the back of her mind. He wanted to control every aspect of her life, from how she looked to her work. And when he couldn't reach her immediately, he and his employees would call her incessantly or come and find her in person. So she's building a picture of a violent control freak.
Brief summary. Sometime last year, a video came out of Diddy allegedly beating the crap out of Cassie Ventura, his then girlfriend, in the hallway of a hotel. And in that video, we saw that she was trying to run away from something, and next thing we saw Diddy with a towel wrapped his lower body, running after her while she was trying to get the elevator, and then beating her and dragging her back to the hotel room. And I don't know, by now I think you guys would have all seen the video. It's available online. He then came out and gave a very fake apology about what happened and whatnot. And I think that for a lot of people was kind of the beginning of, oh, Diddy may not be who we thought he was. So we've been hearing things for a long time, but this was the first time that we saw something so concrete, something so you could not deny. So he got accused of the charges which I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, and some other charges. And Cassie Ventura, his ex-girlfriend, who was the person in that video, is one of the center witnesses in this case. Equally because she has so much information to give, because she witnessed and experienced everything firsthand. For me, before I go on about what's going on in the case right now, when I saw that video, that was a confirmation for me, because it didn't seem to me, number one, like it was the first time that he hit a woman. The way he hit her was not a first time kind of hitting situation for me. The second situation was the fear that you could see that she had. It was almost like, what it seemed to me in that video was that she was in an abusive relationship, and that she had been in that abusive relationship for a long time. So that for me kind of like sealed it. So then when we heard about the drugs, and we heard about the freak-offs, which we're now hearing more about, and the alleged assaults, like him blowing up this rapper called Kid Cudi, his car, because he discovered a relationship between this guy and Cassie Ventura, blowing up his car. I'm like, it all makes sense, and it falls in line with what we saw in that video. But let's continue before I digress.
Right, so definitely these are traits that I recognize. In the field that I work in, whenever we get a call for a retrieval and a family is concerned about a loved one, those same characteristics that this woman listed is the same things that streetwalkers will list about their boyfriend, which is actually their pimp and panderer. That's why I have an affinity for people who are survivors of this type of nonsense and oppression. And this sounds familiar. You know, along this path, I've been poisoned 3 times. My toxicology report showed cyanide, and cyanide metabolizes into pneumonia in your body. So I've had pneumonia on 3 occasions. And these problems didn't start for me until I started to speak out about people like this. It's been a hard time to line up this interview, because the last time I was scheduled to be in this interview, randomly, our car gets hit from the side by a blacked out vehicle, no license plate. That's happened 3 times this month so far.
Really?
Somebody didn't want me to do this interview. Yeah, somebody didn't want me to do this interview. I'm somebody where I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life. So, I'm well versed in this world. But, I got round the clock security. One of them was sitting right here with me right now. This is a dangerous game people are playing. And it's a good feeling for me to see the justice system prevail. And some people deserve retribution.
From what I have seen, to summarize it, I would say that the main defense that Diddy's team is putting forward is, okay, our client might not be the best guy in the world. Okay, he may have a history of abuse, abusing women. But what we are here to determine is whether the acts which he committed, that he's now being accused of sex trafficking for and whatnot, if they were actually illegal or if they weren't. And I think their argument is, as long as there was consent, then they were not illegal. And then they're trying to bring in evidence showing messages, conversations between Diddy and Cassie, where she allegedly, according to what they're saying, was aware and fine with the free cuffs and whatnot. And they're trying to say, well, why were you in the relationship so long, always coming back to him even when you were leaving? If you were actually scared, if you were actually unwilling to do the free cuffs, blah, 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 blah. And of course, the prosecution, who, by the way, is a team of all women and seems to be the best prosecutors in the whole of America. So take that, Diddy, and your team. They are saying, hold on a minute. Hold on. This woman is alleging and has evidence that she did not willingly take part in these free cuffs, and that she was afraid, and that she was scared, and that she was threatened by Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever his name is, that she was threatened by him. So how can you possibly say it's consensual? And I'm seeing a lot of people in the comment section falling for the argument of the defense because they saw some messages where she allegedly was talking about the free cuffs in a way to almost show that she wasn't uncomfortable with doing them. And because even when she would sometimes leave and be in relationships with other people, like when she initially started dating the trainer she's with now, allegedly she also went back to Diddy at some point while in that relationship. It's called abuse, guys. When someone is going through abuse, it takes time to untie yourself from the psychological shackles of the abuse. If you speak to women that have gone through abuse, they will tell you that. Now, let me tell you how I see it. You have Cassie, a 22-year-old girl trying to make it in the music industry, meeting Puff Daddy, an entrepreneur, a rapper, an executive, a huge business person. Huge. And she's flattered that such a person is showing interest in her. And she's dreaming in her 22-year-old brain of becoming the Beyonce to the Jay-Z. Keep in mind, she was 22. And yes, maybe she also thought he could also help me in my music career. And because she was young and impressionable, she thought she was in love with this man. Stay with me. She thought she was in love with this fellow. She thought, I have made it. I have found the person that is going to love me, that is going to take care of me, that is going to make my dreams come true. and I don't want to lose him. That's what she thought, in my mind. Then, as the relationship goes on, he starts to ask her to do certain things. The freak-offs. If you don't know what the freak-offs are, read about them. It's basically sexual acts involving several people where they're doing a lot of disgusting things, all to the pleasure of Diddy. And when I say disgusting, I emphasize it. Disgusting. So, the first time she does it, maybe she's a little bit uncomfortable, but she's like, okay, if this is what I have to do to keep this man that in her mind she's in love with, okay, I'll just try and get used to it. I'll try and do whatever he wants. I don't want him to get upset, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to lose him. And then as the relationship goes on, he asks her to do more and more freak-offs. They get even more and more disgusting. And then she starts to feel some kind of way. And when she starts to feel some kind of way, what happens? All allegedly, he gets physical. He hits her. Because from what she has said, he has hit her multiple times. He threatens her, allegedly, from what she has said, that he threatened to release the videos of the freak-offs she had already done if she left. And so now she's thinking, this man is very powerful. This man has the power to end my career, hurt maybe even people that I care about, all allegedly. She's thinking, he's going to release these videos that will ruin me. And look, considering what he did to the rapper Kid Cudi, right, if that's his name, that she allegedly had a relationship with, considering that, she definitely would have got even more scared. Like, if he can blow up someone's car just because he's jealous of my relationship with the person, what else can he do? And then she probably has heard or seen even more things he may have done to some other people, because we have been hearing stories. The streets have been talking for a while. This may just now have gotten to trial, but we have been hearing stories for a while. So this girl, being with him all these years, must have seen one or two things, must have heard one or two things from reliable sources that we ourselves did not even hear. And she's thinking, I'm afraid. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in this, but I am afraid. And so she stays longer than she should have. Longer than for some of you makes sense, but it does not mean that she wanted to. It does not mean that it's consensual. If it were consensual, guys, why would he blackmail her using the videos of the freak-off she had already done? Why would he need to do that if she so happily and willingly wanted to do freak-offs? Why? Why did he beat the crap out of her in that hotel hallway that we all saw? Why? Why, Sean? Why?
There have been rumours circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalisation. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time. I saw the tunnel. I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. I thought, shit, have I gone to the wrong place? I looked up the end of the tunnel and I thought I saw the devil saying, come on. Or was that Puffy? I'm effing around, but if that was Puffy, it had a flaming bottle of Johnson. And no, I'm just kidding. I think that you have taken that to be a not too oblique reference to the fact that he's suggesting he may too have been poisoned.
Jamie Foxx said out of his mouth that his partner handed him an Advil, and after he took that Advil, he woke up 22 days later. That's what he said out of his mouth. I feel like us as a species, I feel like human skepticism has become a virus, because if we don't trust the words of our peers, where are we as a species? You know, eyewitness testimony and circumstantial evidence is enough to get a person a life sentence in any court on the earth.
From what I have heard so far, from what I have seen so far, it is my humble opinion that it was not consensual. This is a clear case of psychological and physical abuse that has been going on for years. Do not be deceived, guys, by some fancy lawyer over there in Manhattan trying to tell us that it was consensual. Boy, bye. Do you guys remember Tina Turner and Ike Turner? May her soul rest in peace. We later discovered that she was in an abusive marriage with Ike Turner. He used to beat the crap out of her, used to make her do drugs. We later discovered all of that. She said it. But she wasn't in that marriage with him for years. Would you say it was not abuse? Would you say that it was consensual just because she didn't leave immediately he did it? Guys, that's why it's called abuse. It does something to your mind. And let me tell you something. These abusers, they know how to pick their targets. They're not going to come to me. They're going to go to an impressionable 22-year-old girl. If they came to me, it wouldn't work. And it's not because I'm better than anybody, but because, like I said, they're trying to pick the targets that would be able to be manipulated into them thinking that these monsters are in love with them. That's what they do. Nobody thought that Tina Turner was not abused. Nobody thought that it was consensual, even though she had been in the marriage for years. My point is, the argument of the defense is laughable and it's insulting to our intelligence. Because this is not just about defending women, because in this case, unlike Blake Lively, in my opinion, this is a clear case of abuse. But this is also about people like P. Diddy that are so powerful in Hollywood being untouched for so many years. And when I mean untouched, I mean unable. Nobody was able to hold them accountable for all the crimes that he allegedly committed. Listen, I'm no fool. How did he get away with all of these for years? All of these things. Because she's not the only person accusing him of doing stuff. We have heard more stories and we have more witnesses on the witness list that are coming up. And trust that I'll be here to talk about that too. How did this man get away with all of this? How did this man organize the so-called parties he was doing every year with A-listers lining up to attend the parties? Did they not hear about the freak-offs? Even if they didn't attend the freak-offs and they didn't see them. If I were one of those A-listers and I even heard that such things were going on, I will go nowhere near a Diddy party. Because I wouldn't want to be associated with that in any kind of way. Are you telling me that none of those A-listers heard about the freak-offs? Are you telling me that nobody ever reported to the police about some of the things that were going on in this man's house or wherever he was doing the freak-offs? Why did he feel like he could do all of these things and get away with them, if not because he had been getting away with them all along? I want the truth to come out. The people that had been covering up what he had been doing. The people that had been helping him out to execute what he had been doing. Allegedly getting prostitutes from all sorts of places to come and do the freak-offs for him. And threatening them and blackmailing them. What was he keeping all those tapes that he kept of the freak-offs in his house for? What were they for? Think about it. Why do you have tapes of all of these people that you allegedly made do freak-offs, if not to blackmail them? And you think I'm stupid and you want to tell me that it was consensual? What was consensual about that? Did you tell them you were recording them? Did you tell all of them that you were keeping recordings in your house about their freak-offs? Mr. Man? Consensual, my ass. Nobody is above the law. And nobody is untouchable. And in this case, I really hope justice prevails. I don't know how it's going to go, because right now, those fancy suits that call themselves his defense team, they're trying to paint this picture of a consensual sexual relationship that was going on with Diddy and all the victims involved. I don't buy it. I hope you don't buy it. And I hope the jury doesn't buy it either. But we got to see. what's going to happen. But no matter what happens, I'll be right here again to talk about it with you guys, because as you guys know, when I get really, really interested in a topic, I don't let go. And this specific situation has my interest, has my attention. So yeah, that's what I gotta say about it. But guys, as usual, don't let me just be here talking about this to myself. Let's go to the comment section. Tell me what you think. Tell me your opinion and subscribe as you do that. And God bless you all. See you soon.